Have you ever thought about how friendships and relationships are formed? Obviously, kindheartedness, empathy, and humility are all important factors to keep a strong relationship, but have you ever thought about the bigger question of how these factors are formed in the first place? I had to think about this question myself for a while, but there were a few stories and a few occurrences in my life that helped me reach an answer to this question. In the Kanu story that we listened to in class, the story began with four different strangers who entered the community and were considered to be pariahs. They were hated by everyone except Kanu, who showed compassion and gave them all a chance. Later in the story, Kanu requested for assistance to have volunteers search for his daughter. However, none of the citizens volunteered, even though they knew Kanu more fully than the strangers. Of course, since Kanu showed compassion towards the strangers, they took initiative and offered Kanu to rescue his daughter. This ultimately formed a great relationship between Kanu and these strangers at the end of the story. In the Gawain story, although Gawain's relationship with his uncle, King Arthur, was already strong, when King Arthur needed Gawain's help to marry the hideous Ragnar, Gawain did not hesitate at all to accept. This compassion strengthened King Arthur's and Gawain's relationship even more because King Arthur's life was spared because of Gawain's compassion. In a story that I read from the Bible, there was a parable that Jesus told people about the compassionate father. In summary, it was about a son who decided to take a significant amount of his father's money where he spent it all foolishly in a far country. After he ran out of money, he came back to his father, apologetic and shameful. However, his father welcomed him back with open arms and held an amazing party for him. The father showed compassion towards his son even though he was foolish, and this only strengthened their relationship. On the local level, I practiced compassion when I TA'd for biochemistry last semester. I saw my students suffer with the significant amount of workload and class material they received after each lecture. My only duties as a TA were to grade exams. However, I hated seeing them suffer so much, so I took the time to make supplemental lecture videos to help them by clarifying concepts. Ultimately, my students saw my compassion and I gained a better understanding of my students' thoughts and a better overall relationship with them, which I was able to relate to the professor to inform her of the typical struggles the students are facing. On the universal level, Salman Khan, the creator of Khan Academy, created that website so he could provide free universal tutoring. He was aware that some people around the world do not have access to a proper education, while those who do may not have good instructors. Ultimately, he was able to form great relationships with his viewers by having this website, and in return, the viewers leave positive comments and sometimes even donations for him. Overall, compassion is definitely an important factor that leads to important relationships, and I think it is my destiny to continue expressing compassion in order to build better relationships.